Well, I'm at the yard today. I got my dozer in this morning, and what we're fixing to do, we've got to take the blade off. I've got some grubbing to do, so I took the blade off, and we've got to put the grubber on. But in the meantime, while you got the grubber off and can get close, there's things you can always try to do. Always try to wash the radiator and out whenever I get on the yard, because that always gets clogged up with grass and stuff. And as you can see, the fan's in front of the radiator. Uh, there's a radiator on there, and then but it's easier to get into without some piece of equipment on there. But every now and then you got to do it with the blade or the grubber on, and just kind of get open some doors and take some panels off and try to get the garden hose and wash as much dirt and grass out of it as you can, because if you don't, one of these days you're going to open the doors and you can't even see the engine, because it don't take long for grass to build up and dust to go through there and start sticking in stuff. And especially in the summertime, it gets all hot with all that grass and stuff in there. So I always try to keep it clean and stuff. Whenever I get on the yard, I try to wash everything off, and not like you would your pickup, but just enough to kind of get everything clean again before I go out. Anything that needs to be done, we try to do it while I've got it here on the yard, because usually the only time I'm here is when I'm either changing a piece of equipment over, or usually I'm out in the field. So but whenever you get to the yard, it's nice because I got water and everything and can work on it. So that's just kind of what we're doing today. Well, I'm still at the yard, and I was fixing to drive into my grubber and hook it up and everything, and I just happened to lay on the ground and look underneath it, and sure enough, here was a crack on the frame of it. So I flipped it over with the tractor and pulled it up here to the shop, in front of the shop. It's something I could fix, but I'd rather someone professional that does that for a living fix that, because it's pretty critical. It's on the frame, and if that thing breaks while I'm out in the field grubbing, I mean, it's a pain. It'll spring the frame of it and get it out of line, and then you got to put it back together and try to get it in to where someone can get to it. So you just might as well just go ahead and fix it now while I'm out here at the yard, and I can still put it on in the morning and get to the job and everything. It's right here underneath on the main frame of it. It's a crack right here. You can see it's been broke here before, and it's been welded, and it goes down in this hole and then goes down through there. So chances are they may want to grind that out and put a plate on it and everything to get it where it'll hold. So I'm glad I caught it anyway. So it'll just put me off a little bit from getting where I want to get tomorrow. I was hoping I could get there first thing in the morning, but it's just 30 minutes away from the yard where it's at. So I don't have a big move, but it's just stuff like that you don't know. I guess I should have caught it sooner, but I don't know what made me crawl under there and look. I usually try to look at it after I park it, and I don't see nothing, and then who knows, it could have been something with a little dirt in it and it just finally washed out or something. So See what I see from the very front windshield, and you don't see very much when you're looking out the front. Of course, I look out the side doors, but you can't see the front of your grubber. So I know you can't feel through a camera, but you've got to go everything by feel when you're grubbing, because you can't see the front of the blade. You can tell if it's sliding across the ground. As you put down pressure on there, it'll raise up the front end of your dozer, so you know it's not cutting into the ground. And if it's not cutting into the ground, whenever you hit a mesquite tree, it'll just snap it off. Which you can even feel it snap off if you're not hooked up underneath it, and then that's when you got to stop and back up. What the rancher's going to do, he's going to make a trap here put calves in before he turns them out on wheat pasture in the winter time, or preconditioning pens where he can watch them. And you put calves out in something like this, of course there's no grass whatsoever. He's going to plant either coastal Bermuda or some kind of native grass in here. Then he'll have a place where he can put his calves in before he turns them out on wheat pasture or coming off of wheat pasture. He can put them in there, and it'll take him a year. He'll have to plant grass next spring, so it'll take a year for the grass to get on there. But this will make a nice trap for calves and what he wants. When the mesquite trees get as thick as what you see, it's just about made your ground unproductive. You'll have a little green grass grow up in the winter time and early spring, but the trees are growing dormant now, so they're not pulling any moisture out of the ground. So you'll have a little winter grass is what we call it. And I mean, it'll last for a while, but just soon as the hot weather gets here and the trees break dormancy, they'll be pulling so much moisture out of the ground that it'll just be bare. Weeds will grow, but no grass. So really your ground's not getting much production out of it. Some people say, well, what about the wildlife? Well, really thick brush like this, the wildlife don't really like this thick brush. I mean, they can't walk through it. I mean, they can walk through it, but it makes noises and it scares them. And you can keep your ground productive and still keep wildlife on it. Just because you grub the mesquite trees off of it, really you make a better place for the wildlife to grow, because they've learned now that if you'll have some brush and that the livestock, I mean the wildlife will come out and graze, and then they still see thick brush that they can get in and hide. So it's beneficial for both wildlife and livestock production to keep your brush in control. Really, in a way, it's water conservation also, because these trees take so much surface water that could be used for grass and stuff when it's the growing season, and it's just nothing else can grow under it. They zap all the moisture out of the ground. So that's why we're clearing this off, and it looks like there's a pretty good mess out here, and there is. But I'm not finished with it yet. Once I rake the brush, and then I've got a beam I can pull across it, so it will level the ground back up enough where he can get on here and plant grass on it this spring and everything. They may burn the brush piles and do a little hand picking and stuff, but overall it helps the land, and that's what it's all about. help clearing brush and you want to do it where it'll benefit your wildlife, you can always check with your NRCS in your county. That's the Natural Resource Conservation Service. They've got some great ideas on how you can take thick patches of brush and save your wildlife and make it beneficial for them, as long as keeping your land productive, where you can raise cattle and produce beef on land that's eat up in brush. Anyway, we're going to be shut down here after a bit, going in and come back Monday morning. I've got to finish getting the Sunday school lesson ready for tomorrow. I've got the honor to teach our Sunday school class tomorrow. Our lesson, there's 4 of us that take turns doing the teaching. We just rotate, so everybody don't have to teach Sunday after Sunday. I'm in a wonderful Sunday school class, a bunch of saints. There's not as many. It's kind of dropped back. We did have about 30-something in our Sunday school class. Of course, the COVID and the virus and all that, there's some that just can't get out, and they're taking it safe, and I want them to be safe because I love these people. They're seasoned saints, and I say that with the utmost respect. I'm the youngest one in there. If I tell you how well seasoned they are, but I love these people. They've been through life. They've got life lessons to share, and you learn a lot from older people, and never get to where you don't listen to old people. I was taught you listen to your elders, and I'm getting to be an elder, but I still like to listen to people. They got stories to tell of what their life has been like, and in all of these, I promise you will have a story of how their life was turned around by a relationship with Jesus Christ. And that's what it's all about. You know, when I'm in this bulldozer, I'm in total control of it, and I'm as comfortable in this bulldozer as a lot of people are in their car. As powerful as this dozer is, I can control it. It's not going to do something that I don't want it to do. But a person's life's a whole different story. We try to control our own life, and when we do, we usually get in trouble because it's more than what we can handle. Some people think they got everything under control, and usually that's the ones that don't have it under control. Or we try to control it. We want to live our life the way we want to live, and things usually don't work out too good. So I am a follower of Jesus Christ. I've turned my life over to Him, and you know what? I don't have to worry about it now. So it's not easy, but it's not a hopeless life when He's in control. So tomorrow I'll be going to church, and I hope that you can find time to start the week off right. It's been a good week this week, and I want next week to be a good week, and I'm going to start it off right. I'm going to be in church with like-minded believers, worshiping and praising, hearing God's Word taught, and I even get to teach it in Sunday school class. And like I say, that's a privilege to do that. But I need to take time and start the week off right, and that's what we do. I'm not ashamed. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, and He has kept me living a life on track. And we've been trying to think what to call these videos and stuff. My wife thought of Dunsmore moving dirt. Well, that's pretty good, you know. So we're gonna go with that, but there's going to be more than just about bulldozers. I mean, like I say, I've spent a life on tracks, and there's been a person that has kept me on track, and that's Jesus Christ. So, hope y'all have had a blessed week. And like I say, if you take time tomorrow to go to church, worship, and get prepared for another week. Because the way as wacky as things has been here lately, who knows what's going to happen next week, but I know who's in control of it. And I know who will get me through it no matter what. So thank y'all for watching these videos. I hope y'all are enjoying this. Like I say, I'm going to really start trying to get some of them out, and I need to know if y'all are interested in this. It might be a help to y'all if y'all got some land and y'all are going to be doing some work on it, or just interested in this kind of work. I've spent my life doing it, and it's wonderful. I love it. I got a passion for it. So anyway, we'll catch y'all later, and y'all be safe, and may God bless.